At last week's hearing at the International Court of Justice, South Africa laid out charges against Israel focusing on 5 main genocidal acts, while Israel's response was centered on denying there's any genocidal intent in its war on Gaza. Since then, the question on every mind is the same. When will there be a decision from the ICJ, and what could it look like?
I don't want to sound too optimistic, but I think this decision will come early, because this is what the procedure requires. You know, I mean, we are talking of the urgent procedure. Provisional measure means priority over all the other cases with which the ICJ is dealing with. And we have cases at the ICJ related to provisional measures in which the court has decided in 8 days. So I think that a decision could be expected in February, if not before. In February, some of the judges are going to be replaced at the ICJ just because of the natural end of their mandate. I personally, without speculating too much, believe that the decision will be issued before the replacement of the judges. Then, of course, there are states, third state parties now, that can intervene into the proceedings, as announced 2 days ago by Germany, for instance. In this regard, the question is, what is the court going to do? Are they going to accept, submissions from them, inviting them for presenting their hearings? This is up to the judges now to decide in this relation.
Since the hearing, legal experts around the world have been all praised for South Africa's arguments. But will the IC judges see it the same way?
The South African submission and arguments are very compelling and persuasive. The application is solid and provides quite strong evidence in relation to all the elements of genocide. The statements given by the Israeli political and military leaders, of course, they included here references to Netanyahu, invoking the Bible citation of Amalek, which means go and kill everyone, including infants and children, animals. The gallant, the missile defense words calling to a dehumanization of Palestinians when he says human animals, and we should deprive them of all the goods, including water, food, fuel and electricity. Or the Israeli president saying that there are no civilians in Gaza, everyone is guilty. All these statements are typical genocidal statements. The dehumanization of the other is a typical step of all the genocide, not considering as human beings the other part. We have seen statements showing genocidal intentions. The Israeli defense tried to underestimate the statements provided by the Israeli military and political leaders, while South Africa showed clearly how these statements have received a concrete and effective implementation in Gaza.